to the DraftKings tight end analysis for Week 14. I'm Jason Gilbo, JGilbo11. With me is Russell Clay at Russell J. Clay. I'm the grown-up of the group. Russell is not. You can speak, Russell, so people can see your screen.
I'm annoyed that my lower third doesn't work. So I'm doing a peaceful protest with
And for all the people at home that don't know what a lower
assorted
third is,
goods.
because we could probably people might take a guess at something that's a body part, but it's the little title thing here. If you're non-Google Hangout people,
Yeah. So I don't have that anymore for some reason, and
no,
I'm
so
upset it was taken away from me.
no, you're a dog wearing a monocle.
Why have you forsaken me, Google Hangouts?
Maybe it's because you're leaving. Just wanted to make a painful process on the way out.
Yeah, that's true. All right, are we gonna do this or?
Yeah, let's talk some tight ends. I mean, you're a dog. You're heading to the dog pound with Tyler Eifert.
Ooh.
Yes,
Well,
it's a very sexy transition.
Yeah, how about that? Tyler Eifert. Well, he's pretty good at football, and he's healthy now. And AJ Green is massacred on the sideline. So, Tyler Eifert, 6K. It's pretty expensive, but with what his upside is compared to some of the receivers out there, I think Eifert's a really good value in the tight end or the flex. Obviously, if you're looking to pay out for Bell and Johnson, it's tougher to fit him in, but I do think it is possible still. So, him and Dalton being a nice stacking group could make this a pretty easy week to fit him in.
Yeah, we're looking at Bengals as kind of the cheaper value. Obviously, Eifert's probably the more expensive, or I guess you could say, of the grouping. I think he is even higher than Dalton, so he's the most expensive Bengal this week.
Mm-hmm. I think Dalton's like 61, but I mean, with positions taken into account, he's much more expensive,
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of a dominant red zone threat, decent team total there to really target. We're looking at Eifert. Pretty good odds of finding the end zone again.
Certainly.
So, Jimmy Graham for 500 less here. You're looking on the road here at Green Bay, who, I mean, has struggled against tight ends and really, in the secondary over the last handful of weeks.
Yeah, they've really struggled. And, they're going to finally face a team that can truly take advantage of it. I just look at this matchup for Graham, 5,500, pretty easy to go this way. And, at 5,500, it's just so easy to fit him in. If you're stacking with Wilson or if you just want to get him into your lineup. So, there are some decent pay down options, but I like him quite a bit against the secondary.
Yeah, Football Outsiders has him ranked 24th. You look at this projection, I mean, 14, he's one of the higher projected tight ends of the week. I like him a lot. I think he's a solid play really across all sites and all formats this week, because I'm curious to see ownership in that game alone with basically all those weapons.
Definitely. But, Baldwin's gotten his. Lockett got his last week. Graham kind of just that consistent guy that he's going to get his targets every week. So I do like that.
Yeah. GPP tight ends here, looking at Zach Ertz, who's been just a monster in terms of targets over the last few weeks. Prices jumped up a little bit here, but still pretty reasonable.
Yeah, he's, seen a ton of targets most weeks. Obviously, if Jordan Matthews is back, that kind of takes the edge off this play a little bit, but I think they've finally realized that Ertz is, what they're going to have to go to, especially in times of desperation for Carson Wentz. Seems like defenses have, generally speaking, figured out what they're doing on offense and what he's doing. So with Ertz, makes sense to go at him because he's probably going to be in a prominent role for the rest of the year.
Yeah, and I mean, Washington's a middle of the road matchup for him. I think, as you pointed out, if Jordan Matthews comes back, it knocks him down a little bit. But I still think there's going to be a decent amount of targets there. I mean, we saw over the last few weeks, even when Matthews was healthy, he was still kind of that focal piece because, as you mentioned, teams are pressuring Wentz a little bit more. That means more for Ertz. It usually means more for tight ends when there is a lot of pressure.
Certainly.
So Ladarius Green, he did not get a price bump. I mean, 3,900 on the road against Buffalo, and Buffalo's been horrendous against tight ends.
Yeah, I think we got to give this 1 week at least to let it simmer. But I think he's an interesting play. I wouldn't put him in a cash game yet. I just don't think we can trust it quite yet. I just need 1 more week. Ladarius Green has done this before. I know it was in San Diego. But, he's been handed the reins before and not taken advantage of it in prime situations. Obviously healthy now, looking to be really that second guy in the passing game. I like it. I'm just not in on him in cash yet. So I'd rather pay up in cash. 100, certainly a viable tournament play. You're going to get higher ownership than last week, obviously, but I still don't think it's going to be higher than 15% anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that hinders me in cash games is just the fact that he's playing less than 50% of the snaps. He's still in a timeshare.
Yeah, Jesse James is getting targets. Eli Rogers still there. Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell kind of getting a lot of the production. Getting, I'd say, 70 to 80% of the production in that offense. So even if, he is involved, it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to have a big week on the road. Obviously, Ben Roethlisberger's splits on the road aren't that great. So I don't know. I like it. I could just see a lot of ways where this doesn't pan out completely.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team with a ton of weapons. We looked at last week, Brown found the end zone, but wasn't a tremendous. I think he only had 7 targets. Green was the focal point. This week, it could be Bell or Eli Rogers or Brown, and Green takes a back seat. So, any parting words for you,
Pup? None. Get these guys in there. I think this is pretty much the 4 you're looking at. I like this group. Vernon Davis, as you mentioned before the show, is an interesting guy as well without Jordan Reed. Pretty much hitting value every week. So I like him. But yeah, generally speaking, I don't think you want to get too fancy this week.
Yeah, Vernon Davis this past week, a horrible matchup against Arizona, and put out a decent.
Yeah, he still got 9. Yeah. Still got 9. Yeah.
I mean, reasonable for basically he's 3,700 this week. So, viable option. So. That's going to wrap things up with the DraftKings tight end analysis for Week 14. If you want to check out Russell's article, you can head on over to dailyfantasycafe.com. It is up on the site. Be sure to check out the rest of our Week 14 podcasts on comments. Or not comments. Shoot us a comment, if you like it, whatever.
I like comments, yeah.
Yeah, comment on Russell's props or something. Give him some love. Damn it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Screaming for attention over here.
So we'll see you guys in Week 15.